Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Quick update here on Pepe, seeing what's going on here today, of course. If you're new to the channel, thanks again for joining me. Hope you can learn something here today. So what we're going to do is take a quick look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, redraw those out. We're also going to talk a little bit about this, this resistance zone that we are below now, and the fact that if the price were to come back up there, we will have a difficult time breaking through. So just to be prepared for that, some real stuff here today. Nothing biased at all, honestly. What we want to do is here, first of all, take a quick look at Fibonacci retracement. Let's go ahead and peek over at our daily time frame here as well, which obviously that's where we're at, but I want to look at the RSI and kind of just note a couple of things. So first of all, with the RSI, we are starting to see a little bit more money flow in here, right? And this is a good sign here too. So with more money coming in, the RSI has a chance of bouncing. Keep in mind that's a resistance shelf here at 50. At the RSI is going to be reflected on the chart with roughly a 140, 146 range. Okay, so keep in mind, that is a level in which we got to be careful with and make sure we just pay attention to. That being said, if we are kind of looking at the overall sense of things here, we are still underneath a key level resistance 2 here with the moving average. Okay, so keep in mind, there's not a lot of positivity here in the overall sense. The only thing that's positive is the fact that the tentative bottom might be in. We hit that overextended state. We hit like what, 2 nines on TD sequential on the 4 hour and a couple of other nines on the 1 hour. It was just like an extreme worst case scenario. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't going to drop any further. Please understand that. I need you to recognize that coins like this, they do have a tendency of continuing much lower than you expect. But the bottom could be in there. This 120 range is the tentative bottom. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So just the overall sense here is that we're still bearish. Okay, trying to get super excited about that. And effectively, just be very cautious when you take trades with this coin. That said, though, the daily still appears to be bearish, right? We have this descending type of trend. In fact, let's go ahead and just confirm that here as well. You can kind of see I have a descending type of trend here where the price action is moving its way down. Until we break up above that level, we have to expect it to continue. Okay, that's the bottom line. But when it comes to the 4 hour here, we can start to see some positivity here, at least. The test, the fact that we are retesting this descending trend here. We can also see, of course, that we're below the 20-day SMA, but getting above that would be fantastic. So I wouldn't say that's positive by any stretch, but it's positive that we're retesting this trend line and hopefully going to break through it this time. Okay, because again, you can see here previously how many times it's a little easier to see without the stuff on the charts. Take a look at this here. See rejection, rejection, rejection. You can only reject so many times off that trend line until it breaks through. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Definitely something that could work out advantageously. That said, we're still under 50 on the RSI on the 4 hour too. So again, key level resistance above us, yeah, probably this 0.5 level. 0.5 is a very common characteristic for retracement rejection. In other words, the price comes back up. If we come up here, I'm going to speculate that 136 is going to be a problem. It's very common for that area to have issues. Okay, it's just common. That being said, we did finally converge here in the MACD roughly 8 hours ago, so this is a positive sign here telling us that the momentum has shifted from bearish to bullish. Once again, only on the 4 hour time frame though. This doesn't mean the overall mindset is to go ham and to go long. It just tells us that the price action has shifted. It's a slight paradigm shift there, and even though we're still below that resistance level, this could continue. Okay, so it's good to have a MACD convergence going into a trend line because that could help us break through it. But you got to keep in mind, last 8 hours hasn't looked so great. Okay, so just you got to recognize it. There's a lot of reasons why you don't just go all in. Okay, I cannot count how many times I've had people contact me asking me how to recover their portfolio from bad trades with coins like this. Okay, this coin has its benefits, but it's got a lot of disadvantages too. Okay, we got to recognize that and be aware of it. So on the hourly, TD sequential, what we're going to look at here, this is the overextended state. So we kind of left off on our video yesterday right in this range, expecting a bounce. It did bounce. I wouldn't say it was a massive bounce, but we got somewhere in the range of 5 to 10% depending on your overall position size. So not terrible. But once again, we see two nines on TD sequential to the downside. I forgot to cover this here, but on the 4 hour, it's insanely overextended here in this range. So we can disseminate this point that with it being that low, RSI effectively bouncing off that low point, in addition to what the MACD converging, that this was due. Okay? Just keep in mind, this may be very well considered as a dead cat bounce, where the price action comes down, bounces, and continues lower. Okay, so again, we have to honor this descending trend. The trend is your friend, right? So in this case, whether you're shorting or long, you need to recognize that this trend hasn't been broken yet. Okay? Until it breaks, until we break up over that 20-day SMA on the 4-hour or this descending trend we see right here, there's no reason to want to take a long position just yet. Okay, so just hold on to your knickers, right? As some might say, depending on where you're located. Taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud, this is another reason why we want to wait for the trend to finish. We can see this obvious trend line here created by the cloud, commonly synonymous with descending or ascending trends depending on which way it's going, right? That said, when we got the price action kind of doing this here, staying underneath the cloud, well, there's no reason to take a position. Good news is this lagging span, being free and clear of price action, conversion line above the baseline, those are two bullish signs telling us that if you have a short position open, you should have closed it and taken your profits by now. Don't get uber greedy. That being said, at this point, we're still not clear of the cloud. We're not clear of this descending trend either, so we do not take a position until we break either above the cloud soundly, or we break above this trend line and consolidate at support roughly at 127, that lowest Fibonacci retracement level. So if we go straight sideways for the next 24 hours, then and only then we'll have a position or potential available option to go long. We want to reevaluate at that point again too, don't get wrong. Just saying to take it long in 24 hours so we have X, Y, and Z doesn't necessarily mean anything because we want to reevaluate, okay? But hypothetically, things go straight sideways from here, we'll be naturally above that cloud, we'll be consolidating at support, or creating a foundation of volume at this lower level, and we can build from that. All right? That's essentially what we want to look for. So that's the long story short here for this coin. I hope you watched all the way through and didn't fast forward like an idiot because, again, you miss a lot of good stuff in the process, and I can tell you that it's really important to, try to take ownership of your own trades, right? Don't take a trade because I'm telling you that I like what I see or what I don't, right? You take trades based on your own skills and your own strategies, and that's what I like to teach. That's where I have a trading academy and an awesome community too. So be sure to check that out. CryptoCash.tech is a site where you can register, become a better trader. Also be sure to take advantage of our BINGX giveaway here. There's only a few slots left. I think we got maybe 30 or 40 left at this point. And what it is basically is just you get $100 trading bonus for no volume or deposit required. Just free money to have some fun with. Yes, you can only use 5x leverage, but it's still money you didn't have, right? The key takeaway though is that this exchange doesn't require VPN, KYC, or any of those things in Canada, Europe, US, and UK. Small parts of Canada do technically, but there's no VPN or KYC requirements for majority of the regular places that you're prohibited for. Keep in mind, this is a pivot from Bybit to BINGX because we're going to be bringing signals and copy trading as well. But again, make sure you use my link there to benefit from this really cool opportunity. Just there's only a few slots left, so take advantage of that if you can. But more important, fantastic exchange if you are in one of those countries where Bybit's no longer an option. We got you covered. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.